Hello, and welcome to the first installment of Monthly Designs, where I make 15 character designs to sell on my toy house. Because I like money. Can someone please get me a better mic? Jesus Christ. So yes, note that these characters will be sold. They're not designs for the purpose of practicality. They're there to look pretty, so if you're wondering why they're impractical for drawn media, then, well, there's your answer. Wink. Without further ado, what's our theme? I bought cheap-ass candy. All of these, costed, what? $3, $3, and some pocket lint. Going off of conversion rates here, because this country I live in has a terrible economy.
Oi! Philippines! Philippines! Woo!
So yes, that's our theme. I'm turning these shitty little snacks into hot babes worthy of $1 or $2. Okay, I don't know how to transition this to the next segment. Let's just start with this one. I'm Sarakina, and this is turning cheap-ass candy into cool designs. I accidentally ran this one over with my chair. So, a swirly pop. It lacked any depth or flavor other than sugar, but that's besides the point. Exhibit A was to communicate the swirls into the design itself, and I thought what better way to do that than with a gesture. The shape is essentially perfect for it. So there I went, implementing it on the headpiece and some other parts of the clothing. Speaking of running over the candy, I thought it was funny to consider that as part of the design, so here we are. The jester now has cracks on its mask and one part of its leg. And not so visibly, the cloth on the hat. Don't know what that's called, give me a moment. A cap and bells. Oh, mine doesn't have the bells. No one comment on that. Oh yeah, I gave it the lollipop stick too, because... No, why not? Overall, I went for a flowy and bubbly look, as that's what the colors of the swirly pop communicate to me. A funny contrast considering the state it's in. Any final thoughts? I personally think this one is one of the weaker designs in the batch. I struggled quite a bit with the colors too, but hopefully I made it work out on the end. Okay, we're not done with the lollipops yet, because next we have... Look, I didn't know this when picking this piece of candy up, but it had ants on it. That's what I get for getting it cheap though, I guess. Anyway, it's a fruity donut, which honestly also lacks a lot of depth. Not a shock there. I want you to guess what species I went with here. If you guessed ant, you'd be correct. Why? I thought it was funny. Anyway, off to incorporating the shapes into the design. The donut shape was added to her hat, neck fur, and a few other places. And I even added the sprinkles on top of it. I decided a tropical look would be cool since that's the impression I got from the fruity taste. It was a terrible taste, by the way. Did I mention that? Felt like plastic. Honestly, there isn't really much to say since I feel like there isn't much going on with this design. She's an insect in a bikini, and I also feel like she's one of the weaker designs. Next! My sister just started singing karaoke out of nowhere.
Oi! Philippines!
We have the third installment of the lollipops, and one without any defects, introducing this refreshing looking ice cream bar. It still lacked depth if you're wondering, but it did have a little bit of a creamy texture to it. Still went strong with the tropical beach theme by going with a surfer dude. I thought the candy itself would make for a cool surfboard design, so that was the basis of this decision. Originally, I was going to give this guy more shark features, but I just opted for having his markings be red as tattoos, as well as just giving him shark teeth motifs. Which includes the necklace and, of course, top surgery scars, because we love our trans folk here. Let's see. As for the hair, I feel like it comes off more as soda, but I don't care because it looks cool. Quite like how I rendered that part of the drawing. In fact, I used this technique for another design down the line, arguably one that is better suited for it. Maybe I should have given him sharp teeth though, that would have been a cool contrast. Damn it, wasted opportunity. Alright, break from the lollipops. Our next one is this weird nerds ripoff. But don't be fooled because it doesn't have the texture of nerds. It's coated in this soft thing and the inside is jelly like. It was jarring. Only thing they got right was that it was sour outside and sweet inside. On top of that, it just straight up stole Mr. Men characters to put on its casing. Okay, enough of that. I chose a teacher for the profession. Why? I think it might be because of the impression the cover gives me. It reminds me of school books. However, this won't be a pleasant teacher because I felt deceived eating that candy. So, we're going to make an evil ass bitch who has nefarious intent, such as human experimentation, the way this candy fucked with my tongue. The disgusting lumps reflect the shape of the candy, which look like they're about to burst, similar to how I bit into one of these. What kind of teacher? An art teacher. Because on top of being underpaid, you had to choose a subject that isn't being taken seriously by the general public, therefore justifying this thing's evil intentions. Look at this evil thing. Would you trust your kids around this guy? Okay, off with someone who would actually be good with kids. We have a candy shaped like a baby bottle. These were my childhood. You dip them in this powdery candy too. Gonna be real though, global warming is a bitch and melted this thing. So I used all of my strength to try and pry it open. Anywho, we're going with a nurse. Specifically, those nurses that take care of babies. I forgot what they are called. I implemented the swirly purple design of the nipple part onto this character's hair. Wow, that is a sentence never said by anyone ever. Huh. Anyway, I just went for a generally maternal and caring look. Cushioned and soft sleeves and a cute dress seem to communicate that sort of thing. This is making me realize now that she's showing no skin except for her head. I think that's funny. Also, she definitely has a sleeper build, purely because of all the strength I had to exert to even pry the candy itself open. Seriously, my hand started hurting. Personally, I think this is another weak design, especially with the lack of color contrast, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Okay, we got this Coca-Cola flavored candy. It was chalky and only vaguely tasted of cola, not much to say about it. I kind of enjoyed it because of the texture. I had pretty little to go off of, but I tried to do my best to come up with something anyway. First off, I added as much soda figures onto this design, namely on the jacket with the fur part resembling soda bubbles and the zipper looking like the can opener part, but also implementing the same rendering style on the hair and pants as I did with the ice cream bar guy. Again, really enjoyed that rendering style. The pants specifically look like a bottle of cola because I thought it would look cool. Don't ask about the functionality. Now, you may ask, what is this thing? Popstar. Get the joke. Okay, now you may also ask why it's a kemono mimi. Don't know. It adds character. My buddy thought that was a horse. I don't know what animal this design is. No one mentioned how badly I drew the guitar, mentioning that before someone does. Alright, moving on. Heart candies in a blister packet wasn't something I thought I'd ever see, but here we are. You know, these ones are a pleasant surprise. They actually have flavor to them that corresponds with their color. And they have a nice chewy texture that doesn't deceive me. A fun snack. I had quite a ton of fun with this one. And decided to go with a hair shape that contrasts the soft hearts, you know, it being more rectangular. I don't know where the zigzag square comes from, I guess it just adds more definition and personality. Nonetheless, I added as many hearts as I could, such as on the hair, the pants, the glasses, and even the eyebrows. For once, I usually don't know what occupation or role this character would take, since I designed it purely off of vibes, unlike the last few, which had some kind of hobby or job tied to it. Whatever, this character does fuck all. I want it to be made clear that this character is actually androgynous, so you can read their gender how you'd like. Well, I mean, that actually goes for all characters. I could give less of a shit what pronouns you give them. Anyway, I enjoy this design. That's it. This design gave me a headache, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Another one from the same brand as before. We have Star Jelly candies, also served in blister packs. I also quite like these. They're cute and the texture was akin to Swedish fish but tougher, which I love. The character, however, oh my god. Okay, so same as I did before, I added as much star motifs as I could. Her hair mainly, but you can also see it on the boots. This character is an alien because that was basically the generic route to take when making something based on the stars. I do like how I implemented the shapes, but let me tell you, I struggled with the colors bad. You can see it in this footage. I am dying out here, people. I was trying hard to decide between what skin color to use and if I should even use certain shades. It's fine though, I eventually got something decent enough. Don't ask how the helmet works. Outside of that, while I love how this looks, it is more of the clutter designs of the bunch. Still, I do adore how shiny it is. Good luck to whoever is commissioned to draw this thing. Okay, this time we have sour watermelon belts, but only served in a singular packet, which is a little weird, but hey, I'm no greedy bitch. Anyway, it's about as basic as you can get with watermelon sour belts. It's coated, it's sour, it's okay. On to the design. Similar to the heart candies, this one has no specified occupation. We are going based off of vibes, and the vibes tell me to add as many belts as possible. I mean, like, you know, the sour belt design, not actual belts. Hair and clothes and all that, more so on the hair since that's the most noticeable part of the entire thing. I kind of dig this shape. What's this? Not enough watermelon vibes? We'll add that too on the clothes and accessories, and add a few seeds here and there. Voila! I do really enjoy the shading and colors in here. They're quite pleasant to look at. But I'm biased because I like green and red. Now, this begs the question. Is the outfit a jumper? I didn't intend it to be, but looking more at this, yeah, I see the resemblance. By the way, if I hear any comparisons to Sour Belt Cookie, you will be beat to a pulp on sight. No offense. Actually, full offense. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know what the hell this is. It calls itself, like, a fruit pie? It looks like a pineapple, but it tasted like durian and had the texture of a really rubbery marshmallow. Overall, I did not like it at all. However, the shape did remind me of abs. So I went for a luchador. Yeah, don't ask how I got there. I was recently reading Do a Powerbomb, and one of the main characters, Cobra Sun, was really hot to me. And let's just say, I'm an easily influenced person when it comes to my tastes. If I want to make a sweaty wrestler with his bosoms out, then I will. Voila. Even made the top skin tight. Okay, actually talking about the design, there's a lot based on the pineapple here, such as the hair and the mask. But due to the durian taste, I also added spikes as a durian would, since it also elevates the intended nature of this character, which would be violent. Ready for a fight. Bullhorn seemed like a good addition too, since it sort of reminds me of like pineapple leaves, and further pushes the narrative that this character is ready to tussle. Any takers? No? I could take him on. Okay, so this next candy I really love. Say hello to these lifesaver ripoffs that you can whistle through. They were my childhood. Flavor-wise though, they're just sweet. I do enjoy the chalky texture, however. My idea for the design is a bit more on the medical side of things. Please welcome a Conti nonchalant scientist, folks. Why? Don't know. The candy looked like weird medicine to me. It was time to implement the hair, and what better way to do that than with locks? You can style them with accessories, which is what I did. More circles were needed, so I added them to the clothes and glasses too. This is when I then realized it kind of looks more like cereal. But we persist anyway. I have to admit, this character kind of looks like a Pokemon gym leader. What do you reckon their type is? I'm going for Steel type. Maybe Psychic? What do you guys think their Pokemon would be too? I'm curious to know. Overall, I actually quite like this one. It's simple but effective. Lining the locks was painful though. Contrary to popular belief, I hate big strokes. Okay, next we got this, I'm going to be real, god-awful eye gummy candy. It was fruity, but it was so bad. I hated it, I hated the texture, I hated the filling inside. However, I do like the idea it gives me. For one, you guys know I love my eyes in places they shouldn't be. So, here we go, we're going for a more monstrous design. Not too monstrous though, we still need it to be pleasing enough to sell, wink. I mainly based this thing off of pink eye because the taste is comparable to the infliction. It's bad. Anyway, inflamed veins became the main subject, which is why it is added on both hands and as the main building block of the tail. I honestly wish I added more eyes, but it sort of threw off the balance of the design. Now you may ask, why is it so chiseled? Fun fact, the closed eyes on the face is actually just a bunch of markings. You learn something new every day. The fur is supposed to mimic an inflamed sclera, by the way, hence why it's off-white. Kind of gross, I know. Anyway, I like this design too. Simple but effective in my eyes. You get it? God, I want to keep this one so badly. Crap, getting ahead of myself again. We got this fairly popular Filipino candy, which is mainly in lollipop form. Or back to those again. Milkita! I got the purely milk flavor one because it's my favorite. I swear they put drugs in this thing. Or like cream chupa chups, but better in my opinion. Chupa chups? Chupa chups? Whatever. Enough of fangirling over this. I have put my love into this design by giving it one of the highest trophies, rewards I could ever give to a character. Being a green, plant-based, big, beautiful woman. Yippee! Hey, if you're one of those, hit me up. Oh, also she's a cow because, well, should go without saying. Anywho, the frills and ruffles were inspired by the shape of the lollipop's plastic. Additionally, I made the hat sort of resemble the design of the unopened candy itself. Of course, the character is mainly green and white because that's the palette of the sweet. I am running out of words for candy. Other than that, I mean, what else is there to say? She's a green, big furry, and I love her. God, I want to keep her so badly. Next up, we got these milk chocolate sugar-coated candies like M&Ms, but still packaged weirdly. They're pretty basic, cheap, whatever. There isn't much to go off of, but I tried my best to do something with this design by, of course, implementing the round shape of these candies. What better way to do that than with a hammer? As for the character itself, I don't know why they are so formal. I guess I thought it was a funny contrast to the gigantic fucking hammer that thing has. The mask the character wears is supposed to mimic the candy once more, but with a portion of the sugar coating revealing the chocolate, aka the real face of this dude here. You can even notice that a bite was also taken off of the hammer. It adds personality. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I was going for a carnival look? Anything to make the concept more interesting, since, again, didn't have much to work off of. There's just so much you can do with M&M ripoffs. Mayhaps I should have also added more color instead of just yellow and red, but I got lazy. It's 15 designs, folks, they don't have to be perfect. Finally, we are at the final one. I swear this one made my pee turn really yellow. TMI, but we have icebreaker ripoffs. They were really minty with a hint of lemon. Also chalky, of course they were. Honestly, don't know what I was thinking when I made this one. I could have gone for some sort of winter attire, but no, we got some kind of announcer showbiz dude instead. Why? The shape of the candy reminded me of microphones. So, yes, this is the basis of the design. You know, I don't know why, but I started adding pineapple motifs too? Dude, there's only lemon there. I think I might be going insane. Whatever, let's ignore that. This dude's outfit is based off of those barbershop quartets, but more showy and flowy, because a breeze on your tits equals the minty flavor, I guess. I don't know, guys, I kind of just bullshitted this design hard. I have literally ran out of things to talk about this design. I need this part to be longer. I am practically doing the equivalent of stretching out an essay. He's fruity and yellow. He's a striped fellow. He'll probably sell you used items. Are we done yet? Okay, we're done. So, we have all the designs done, folks. Here is Swirly Pop, Donut Pop, Ice Cream Bar Pop, Nerds Ripoff, Baby Bottle, Coca-Cola, Chewy Hearts, Star Jellies, Lifesaver Ripoffs, Gummy Eye, Milkita, Sugarcoated Chocolate, Watermelon Sour Belt, Pineapple Durian Pie, and finally, Icebreaker Ripoff. These are unofficial names, let's make that clear. Except for Milkita, I guess. Anyway, which one is your favorite? Dev Slips is the ice cream bar dude. I'm privy to the Milkita one, but that's because I'm biased. As said before, these are up for sale in my toy house, and they will also be posted in my other social medias. See you guys there! I'm Sirakina, and this was turning cheap-ass candy into hot-ass people. That's a lie.